Today I will be reading Mickey's Christmas Carol from one of Disney's storybook collection. It was Christmas Eve, but old Ebenezer Scrooge didn't care that it was the best holiday of the year. Poor Bob Cratchit, who worked for Scrooge, had to ask if he could have Christmas Day off. It took all of Cratchit's courage to face his mean boss. "Christmas!" shouted the miserly Scrooge. "Bah humbug!" But he gave his permission. Poor Cratchit hurried home to his family before Scrooge could change his mind. Just then, Scrooge's nephew Fred stopped by. "Come join us for Christmas dinner, Uncle," he offered. The old man just scowled. "Christmas, bah humbug," was his only reply as he shooed Fred out the door. After counting his money, Scrooge left for home, sinking into his favorite chair after a bit of dinner. Scrooge began to doze off. Suddenly, he sat up with a start. Clink, clank, clink! The ghost of Jacob Marley, Scrooge's dead business partner, was walking toward him in chains, moaning and groaning. "I was selfish," said the ghost. "As I carry these chains through eternity, so will you, Scrooge." "No," Scrooge cried. "I must be dreaming. It can't be. Help me, Jacob. Tell me what I must do." "Tonight," Marley said, "3 spirits will visit you. Listen to them and do as they say." When the ghost disappeared, Scrooge shook his head. "I need sleep," he thought. Perhaps it was a bit of indigestion. He had just fallen asleep when the alarm clock rang. There on his night table stood a little fellow. "I am the ghost of Christmas past," he said. The ghost held out his hand. "I'll take you to Christmas of long ago." Scrooge and the spirit flew through the air. They stopped at a house filled with music and laughter and people. There was a holiday party going on. "Why, that's me when I was young," Scrooge sighed. "There's old Fezwig. He gave me my first job. And there's my lovely Isabel." The spirit reminded Scrooge that gold had taken the place of love in his heart, and Scrooge turned away. "I don't want to see any more. Please, spirit, take me home." Suddenly, the alarm rang once more. "I must have been dreaming again," Scrooge said, rubbing his eyes. "Fee, fi, fo, fum," yelled a voice. There sat a giant, surrounded by a huge beast. "What's all this?" Scrooge demanded. "It's the food of generosity," the giant explained, "and that's something you know nothing about. I'm the ghost of Christmas present. Come, see what's happening tonight." Scrooge followed the ghost to a tiny house. He looked through the cracked window. It was Bob Cratchit's place. "What a poor dinner they're having," Scrooge said sadly. Then he asked, "What's wrong with the little lad?" "Tiny Tim is very ill," said the giant. "He needs good food to make him strong and well. Pay his father more so he can buy his family enough to eat." The giant's voice faded and then he was gone. Suddenly, Scrooge heard another voice behind him. "I am the ghost of Christmas yet to come," it said. Scrooge turned to find himself in a graveyard. "Whose lovely grave is this?" he asked meekly. "It belongs to a very rich man," the ghost said. "A man was so selfish and unkind that he had no friends." The ghost waited for Scrooge's reaction. Then Scrooge read the name on the stone. He couldn't believe his eyes. It was his very own grave. "Oh, give me another chance," cried Scrooge. "Tell me it's not too late to change my ways." Scrooge kept pleading with the spirit until he woke up. There he was, alive and well, right in his own bed. Scrooge leaped out of bed with joy. It wasn't too late. He hadn't missed Christmas at all. There was time to make up for his past mistakes. He dressed quickly and rushed outside. First, he tossed bags of money to the men collecting from the poor. Then he promised his nephew he would come to dinner after he made one stop. Scrooge hurried over to Bob Cratchit's house. He brought toys for Tiny Tim and the other children and a wonderful Christmas dinner for everyone. Cratchit and his wife were never more surprised or pleased than by Scrooge's change of heart. Scrooge made a promise to his family that from this day on, they would never want anything. What a Christmas miracle for the Cratchits and for Ebenezer Scrooge. Tiny Tim had just one thing to say: God bless us, everyone. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.